Just when you thought you could turn your back and walk away, the dark cloud of human indignity follows you. You have no choice but to turn and look it in the eye. It's the sex offender hit list.
Let's head over to Bixby, Oklahoma, where a Jenks man who worked as a youth minister in Bixby has been accused of child sexual exploitation. Court documents say federal agents took Chaz Chinsa-Thaggett, a former youth minister at Riverview Baptist Church, into custody. Court documents say Chinsa-Thaggett thought he was talking to a 14-year-old girl online when he asked her to perform lewd acts for him. He was actually talking to an undercover police officer in Texas. Chinsa-Thaggett is also accused of using the Discord app to ask 13 to 15-year-old girls for lewd pictures. Chinsa-Thaggett was arrested for child sexual abuse material and enticing a minor and is being held with no bond the way it should be. See ya, Chinsa-Thaggett Chomo. Greenville Township, Darke County. A 36-year-old man is facing child sexual abuse material charge following an investigation by the Darke County Sheriff's Office. Matthew A. Shopstall, a 36-year-old, is facing a pandering obscenity involving a minor charge, the jail records there show. On Thursday, an investigation into child sexual abuse material led the Sheriff's Office to conduct a search warrant on the 6,000 block of Recorth Road in Greenville Township. Shopstall was then taken into custody, and this case, too, is still under investigation by the Darke County Sheriff's Office. See ya, Chomo. Oklahoma. An Edmond woman was arrested on Wednesday on 2 child sexual abuse material charges. According to the Edmond Police Department, the Internet Crimes Against Children's Task Force executed a search warrant at a home in northwest Edmond around 5:30 p.m. on Wednesday, April 17th. The warrant was conducted as part of the child exploitation investigation with cyber tips from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Officials say detectives spoke with the residents of the home and identified 38-year-old Kasha Parrish. Based on the information from the cyber tips and interviews at the scene, Parrish was arrested on charges of possession of child sexual abuse material as well as distribution of such material. She was booked into the Oklahoma County Jail, and this investigation is ongoing and more charges are expected for this Chomet.
Yeah, my mother told me there'd be days like this.
The Edmonton police have laid additional child luring charges against a man after another girl came forward to accuse him of crimes. The 15-year-old girl is the fourth to approach police in the case to say that Horatio Benitez lured and sexually assaulted her, among other offenses. Investigators with the Edmonton Police Service last month started looking into a report of a sexual assault on a girl, finding that the 53-year-old had befriended 3 different girls, 2 14-year-olds, and 1 12-year-old, using the social media platform Snapchat between December and early March. Benitez offered to buy vapes, marijuana, and alcohol for the girls in exchange for nude images, videos, and in-person sexual contact. Police arrested Benitez on March 27th and charged him with several offenses, including 2 counts each of sexual assault, sexual interference, invitation to sexual touching, as well as luring of a child. Since those charges were laid, police said the 15-year-old girl came to the cops, leading to additional charges against Benitez of sexual assault, sexual interference, sexual counsel of a child, distributing cannabis to a youth, luring a child under 16 years old, and obtaining sex services for a child for consideration. William Guy Amick III, a 36-year-old of suburban Pittsburgh, was charged Thursday in Fillmore County District Court with 13 counts of child sexual abuse material, including using minors in a sexual performance, soliciting a child to engage in sexual conduct, and possession of pornographic work involving a minor. The many incidents involved male and female victims from newborns to 7-year-olds, according to the charges. The videos ranged in length from less than 30 seconds to more than 12 minutes. Amick, who goes by E on the internet, committed many of these crimes while living in the southern Minnesota communities of Mabel and Rushford for about 2 years until May of 23. His whereabouts since that time are unknown, read a statement issued last Thursday afternoon by the State Bureau of Criminal Apprehension. He may or may not still be in Minnesota, so they just don't know. The BCA describes Amick as white, 6 foot 3 inches tall, 123 pounds with dark hair and blue eyes. He often has posed as a woman and uses AI when interacting with men online to create material of the men sexually abusing their own children. Let's find and get this guy off the streets. A Plymouth man was arrested for allegedly molesting a child. This is 27-year-old Cody Alexander Boehm of Plymouth. He's charged with child molesting, a level 1 felony. On April 7th, a Plymouth police officer responded to a report of a man being found in bed with a child. According to court documents, the child said the man, later identified as Boehm, forced them to take off their clothes and inappropriately was touching them. During an interview with law enforcement, Boehm was intoxicated and he said he did nothing wrong. Well, Boehm was booked into the Marshall County Jail on April 7th on a $500,000 cash-only bond. See ya, Chomo.
Now get in there!
Let's head down to Arkansas for this one. A Jonesboro man will spend 20 years in prison after pleading guilty to sexually assaulting 2 different children. Second Circuit Court Judge Chris Thayer sentenced 50-year-old Daniel Wendell Hildebrand to 240 months in the Arkansas Department of Corrections, with an additional 240 months of suspended imposition of sentence. According to the sentencing order, Hildebrand pled guilty to 2 counts of second-degree sexual assault, 2 charges of sexual indecency with a child, and rape charge were nol prossed. In addition to prison time, Thayer ordered Hildebrand to register as a sex offender upon his release from the ADC rather, and to have no contact with any of the victims, as well as any minors. See ya, Chomo. Surete du Quebec. The SQ, Surete du Quebec, Quebec police, arrested 19-year-old in connection to a child sexual abuse material investigation. The SQ says Thomas Pelland of Action Vale allegedly used social media to have conversations of a sexual nature where intimate photos were sent. Through an investigation, authorities believe Pelland may have been in contact with victims in various cities across the province. Several victims have already been identified, but police believe there are many more. They say he used the nickname Tom, or a screen name Titum0904 and Titum0x on social media. Pelland appeared at the St. Jerome Court on Thursday and was charged with multiple offenses, including luring and possession, distribution, and accessing child sexual abuse materials. See ya, Chomo. A Hinesville man who allegedly came to Statesboro for a sexual encounter with a teenage female faces sex offense charges. Statesboro Police Corporal Justin Staples said Michael Sean Cooksey, a 23-year-old of Fort Stewart in Hinesville, is charged with child molestation and enticing a child for indecent purposes. Arrested early Wednesday morning, according to Bullitt County Jail records, Cooksey was identified as the offender after Statesboro Police Detective Scott Brunson conducted an investigation when the 14-year-old Statesboro girl failed to report home after school.
I'm gonna give you solitary confinement for 99 years.
A local man was arrested and charged with multiple counts of possession of child sexual abuse images. The Newmarket Police Department announced this on Thursday. This is 37-year-old Devin E. Chick of Newmarket. He was taken into custody on April 19th after a collaborative investigation involving the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, the Internet Crimes Against Children's Task Force, and the Rockingham County Attorney's Office, with local law enforcement partners, of course. The investigation, which began on April 10th, after authorities received a tip, led to Chick being charged with 5 Class A felony counts of possession of child sexual abuse images. Following his arrest, Chick was released on a measly $2,500 cash bail. Insanely low. He's scheduled for arraignment on June 20th at the Brentwood District Court. The Newmarket Police Department and the Newmarket School District are working together to address the situation. At present, there is no indication of any other individuals involved or local victims in relation to this case. As the investigation is ongoing, authorities are not releasing further details at this time. Virginia. On April 11th, the Appomattox County Sheriff's Office received a complaint that Donald Leon Hemingway, Jr. of Appomattox may be in possession of child sexual abuse material. Investigators immediately conducted an investigation, which led to a search warrant being conducted at Hemingway's residence that same day. The search resulted with Hemingway, a 44-year-old, being led away in cuffs and charged with the following: 29 counts of production of child sexual abuse material, as well as 29 counts of possession of child sexual abuse material. He's been led to the county jail and he resides there with no bond until Monday morning. See ya, Chomo. Bullitt County Superior Court Judge F. Gates Peed sentenced a Bullitt County man to 20 years to serve in prison for molesting a juvenile relative. James Kelly Catron, a 42-year-old of Colfax Road West, pled guilty to sexually molesting the girl at a home on Stevens Little Road near Register on more than one occasion. He first assaulted the girl, who was just 7 years old at the time, between April and November of 2013. Hopefully he gets his justice in prison.
Let me out of here! Let me out of here!
A convicted child molester will learn his fate in the Superior Court of Guam this week. Derek James Simmons is scheduled to be sentenced on Wednesday. In March of 22, they found him guilty of 5 counts of second-degree criminal sexual conduct as a first-degree felony. As the news there reported, the victims, who were both under the age of 14 at the time of the incidents, described during trial how Simmons would reach under the blanket to molest them. Prosecutors commended the victim for the strength to testify at the trial, and Simmons' sentencing will be held before Judge Arthur Barcinas. Let's hope he gets a long time for that one. After investigating a complaint, the Bullitt County Sheriff's deputies arrested a man Wednesday on charges of child molestation as well as child sexual abuse material. 24-year-old Joshua Champion is charged with enticing a child for indecent purposes, child molestation, and sexual exploitation of children. A complainant contacted the Sheriff's Department to report Champion molested a 6-year-old girl related to him by marriage. A search warrant resulted in deputies seizing a laptop computer after someone gave them a tip that child sexual abuse material was on his computer as well as his cell phone. The computer was turned over to the Georgia Bureau of Investigation. Champion is being held without bond at the Bullitt County Jail, held on a probation violation charge to start with. Champion has had a criminal history including several felony violations and has probation violation charges in 3 different counties. None of the violations include sexual crimes against children except his current charges. See ya, Chomo.
I'd like to know what dirty stool pigeon squealed on me.
Happy birthday, dear Ellie.
Now, Ellie, remember, this is our special secret.
Uncle Jim.
1 in 5 children is sexually abused before they turn 18.
Make a wish, but remember, it's a secret.
Do you know the signs?
I just want everyone to go home.
Learn more about the risks of child sexual abuse at sapria.org.